BTS news to date. Eunwoo was truly prepared when that video appeared. Just 7 seconds long, recorded as if intentionally made to look spontaneous, and uploaded through the official TikTok account of a staff member who barely had any followers. But those 7 seconds were enough to shake South Korea, make armies around the world freeze, and send the entertainment industry into another wave of unstoppable speculation. How could it not? Under the dim studio-like lights reflecting gently off the glossy black floor, two silhouettes stood side by side, facing the camera with small smiles that felt almost coded. Jungkook of BTS and Eunwoo of A*STAR, two names that alter the atmosphere the moment they appear together in a single frame, now dancing together in a short video. No one knew the origin of .it didn't take long. Within 3 minutes of its appearance, thousands of comments poured in like sudden heavy rain. Is this live? Is this edited? Why are they together? What's happening? I need explanation now. And of course, the hashtag Jungkook was shot straight to the #1 spot worldwide. Even other idols who happened to be scrolling through TikTok were caught off guard. Two superstars known for their packed schedules suddenly appearing together, syncing perfectly to a TikTok beat. It was too stunning to be brushed off as coincidence. But this story is not as simple as a viral video. Something bigger, much bigger, was moving behind the scenes. Something even the closest staff members didn't dare discuss out loud. And it all began 1 hour before the video was uploaded. That afternoon, the entertainment building in Nonhyeon district was swallowed by an unusual silence. The ceiling lights cast a cold reflection across the long hallways that were usually filled with trainee laughter and blaring music from practice rooms. But today, the door to Studio 4 was locked from the inside. Security guards stood in front of it with expressionless faces, earphones plugged in. A clear sign that someone important was inside. Or perhaps two people. Inside the studio, Jungkook stood in the center of the room taking a deep breath. His black t-shirt was slightly damp with sweat from the continuous practice he'd been doing for the past hour, his dark hair falling over part of his forehead, and his gaze focused on the wall-length mirror in front of him. Music played softly from the speakers, not a BTS song, not one of his solos, but a lighter beat, a TikTok rhythm. He nodded slightly, following the melody. But he stopped after a few seconds, patting his forehead and laughing softly. I forgot the move again. The door creaked open from the inside, making Jungkook turn. Eunwoo walked in holding snacks and 2 bottles of water. He looked at Jungkook with a bright, teasing smile. You started again without me? You really can't keep still, huh? If I stop, I get sleepy, Jungkook replied as he took one of the bottles. And you're late. I bought you snacks. Eunwoo lifted the plastic bag. And the parking lot here is tiny. You know that. Jungkook raised a brow but couldn't help smiling. There was something warm and natural in the way they interacted, like two brothers who had known each other for ages, even though fans rarely saw them together publicly. Let's start from the top, Eunwoo said, placing the snacks on the small sofa. The dance is silly, Jungkook replied. Are you sure you want to do this? I have a reputation, Eunwoo chuckled. But it's fine. For you, I'll risk embarrassment. Jungkook snorted, grabbed the remote, and turned on the music. The little studio instantly filled with the playful beat. The first moves went smoothly. Both men moved in sync like they had been practicing for days, though in truth this was only their second rehearsal. Dust from the studio floor lifted slightly with each glide of their feet, their shadows overlapping as they followed the rhythm. At one point, Jungkook accidentally stepped too close, almost bumping into Eunwoo. But Eunwoo spun away quickly with a quiet laugh, causing the two of them to stop and burst into louder laughter as they clutched their stomachs. You're such a kid, Eunwoo said, shaking his head. You're taller, that's unfair, Jungkook said. And what does that have to do with anything? Your moves look cooler because you're tall. Meanwhile, I look like a dancing penguin. Eunwoo stared at him for a moment before laughing loudly. The most handsome penguin I've ever seen. Jungkook pressed his lips into a tight smile to stop himself from laughing too hard, then hit Eunwoo lightly on the arm. Stop it. But it's true. There was something in the air, something fans rarely saw. Jungkook looked genuinely comfortable. Too comfortable even. As if Eunwoo was someone who could quiet his mind in just a few seconds. And in a world filled with pressure and back-to-back schedules, comfort like this rarely made it into recorded footage, but unbeknownst to them, in the far corner of the studio, a staff member had begun recording. Not clearly. Just their silhouettes reflected through the mirror, moving sharply in sync. The staff hadn't intended to film anything, but seeing the two megastars goofing around like trainees, laughing like teenagers, he couldn't stop himself. He hit record. Just a few seconds. Nothing more. He knew it was risky. Videos like this could spark unnecessary rumors. But he thought it was cute. Harmless. He thought it would never get out. He was incredibly wrong. After hours of practice filled with non-stop laughing, Jungkook sighed and dropped to the floor, gulping down the rest of his water. Eunwoo sat beside him, leaning his head against the mirror. "You look happier lately," Eunwoo said suddenly. Jungkook looked at him, then lowered his gaze. "I'm trying. Hard. Sometimes." Jungkook fiddled with the bottle cap. "I love working. I love dancing. But some days everything feels heavy. You know that feeling?" Eunwoo nodded slowly. "I know. So moments like this," Jungkook continued, "when I can just have fun, I don't want to miss them." Eunwoo patted his shoulder gently. "You're not alone, you know." A soft silence fell between them, the kind that only appears between two people who genuinely trust each other. "Should we record it once?" Eunwoo suddenly asked. "You mean for TikTok?" "Yeah, but no uploading. Just for us." Jungkook hesitated for a moment before smiling. "All right." They stood up. Camera on a small tripod. Music on. And they danced freer, brighter, and happier than they had earlier. At the end of the video, Jungkook burst into laughter while Eunwoo pointed at him, saying, "You messed up again." They did not know another video from a different angle had already been captured. A video that would soon leak. 1 hour later. The studio was empty. Lights off. Jungkook had already returned to the dorm. Eunwoo had been picked up by his manager, and most staff were heading home. No one realized that the young staff member, the one who held the video, was sitting on the emergency stairwell, pale and panicking, because his TikTok app kept glitching. The draft disappeared, reappeared, vanished again. And somehow it uploaded just 7 seconds. No caption. No filter. No permission. And the world exploded. The video is now the hottest topic online. Fans are torn between swooning, screaming, and spiraling. Many are laughing because the two most handsome idols in Korea danced a cute TikTok challenge with ridiculous charm. But more fans are confused. Why are they together? Why in a studio? Is this a collaboration? Brand deal? Secret project? And the biggest chaos, the third shadow behind them. A still figure. Not moving. Not dancing. Not reacting. Netizens zoomed into the shadow, analyzed it frame by frame. Some said it was a staff member. Others insisted it was a trainee. A few more dramatic ones believed it was another idol who shouldn't have been there. But the mysterious shadow remains unsolved.